The birth of the Ghost Army. As World War II raged on, the Allies sought every possible advantage to outmaneuver the Axis powers. From this necessity emerged a top-secret unit, the Ghost Army. Comprising artists, engineers, and sound experts, this unconventional force specialized in deception. Their mission? To create elaborate illusions that misled enemy intelligence, buying time and saving lives. With rubber tanks, fake radio transmissions, and sonic warfare, they turned battlefield trickery into an art form. Their existence remained one of the best-kept secrets of the war, known only to a select few within Allied command. The idea for such a unit came from a group of forward-thinking strategists who understood that conventional military power alone would not be enough to win the war. They sought to employ psychological warfare on an unprecedented scale. The unit was formed in 1944, and its members underwent rigorous training in illusion-making, sound manipulation, and strategic misdirection. Their first mission would test the limits of deception and set the stage for some of the most creative and daring operations in military history. The illusionists of war. The Ghost Army's recruits were not traditional soldiers. Many were artists from the world of advertising, theatre, and design. They used their skills to craft hyper-realistic decoys, painting inflatable tanks to appear battle-worn and staging elaborate setups to convince German scouts of non-existent divisions. With a mix of creativity and psychological warfare, they blurred the lines between reality and fiction. These illusionists were masters of perspective, using forced angles and shadows to make a small setup appear as if it spanned an entire valley. They worked tirelessly to ensure their props looked authentic, down to the smallest detail. To further enhance their illusions, they employed smoke machines, creating the impression of tank engines revving and troops moving in large numbers. The German High Command often found themselves outmaneuvered by what they believed to be a formidable force, only to later realize they had been deceived. Soundscapes of deception. One of their most remarkable tools was sound deception. Using pre-recorded military maneuvers, they played these sounds through powerful speakers, creating the illusion of vast troop movements. The noise of clanking tanks and marching boots echoed through the fields, tricking enemy reconnaissance into believing a full division was advancing. This audio trickery misled even the most seasoned of Axis generals. The process of sound deception was a sophisticated one. Engineers carefully analyzed how sound traveled over different terrains, adjusting the playback accordingly. The recordings were made with state-of-the-art technology for the time, layering sounds of engines idling, soldiers talking, and weapons being assembled. These sounds were played at varying volumes and in different sequences, ensuring the illusion remained unpredictable and convincing. The art of radio misdirection. Radio deception was another key strategy. The Ghost Army's radio operators mimicked the communication styles of actual Allied divisions, ensuring that intercepted messages misdirected enemy forces. By transmitting false information about troop movements and logistics, they sowed confusion and forced the enemy to redeploy resources in the wrong locations, weakening their actual defenses. This strategy relied on precision and an understanding of how the Germans intercepted and analyzed radio chatter. The Ghost Army's radio specialists studied real military transmissions and perfected their ability to replicate them. They even incorporated deliberate minor errors to make the transmissions seem more authentic. The Germans, thinking they had successfully intercepted Allied communications, often fell right into the trap. The deceptive battlefield. The unit took its deception a step further by staging elaborate fake encampments. Using tents, vehicles, and dummy soldiers, they created the illusion of an impending attack. At night, they lit campfires and played sounds of conversation, making their presence seem authentic. German forces, wary of an overwhelming attack, often diverted troops to counter the imaginary threat. To maintain their deception, the Ghost Army went to extraordinary lengths. They even fabricated tire tracks in the mud to suggest the movement of heavy vehicles. They scattered empty ration boxes and spent shell casings in strategic locations to mimic the aftermath of previous battles. The combination of visual and auditory deception made their fake encampments nearly indistinguishable from real ones. Operation Fortitude and D-Day. Perhaps their greatest contribution was Operation Fortitude, the massive deception plan leading up to the D-Day invasion. The Ghost Army played a crucial role in convincing German forces that the main invasion would occur at Pas-de-Calais rather than Normandy. Inflatable landing craft, false radio transmissions, and dummy paratroopers contributed to this ruse, ensuring the real invasion force had a higher chance of success. The Germans were so convinced by the deception that they kept a large portion of their forces stationed at Pas-de-Calais long after the Normandy landings had begun. This strategic advantage allowed the Allies to establish a foothold in France, leading to the eventual liberation of Western Europe. Psychological warfare at its finest, the Ghost Army understood that deception was as much about psychology as it was about illusion. By leveraging enemy fears and biases, they crafted deceptions tailored to exploit German expectations. Whether it was reinforcing existing suspicions or planting entirely new ones, their psychological tactics kept Axis commanders in a state of perpetual uncertainty. The mere rumor of the Ghost Army's presence often led German forces to hesitate, afraid that they were walking into an elaborate trap. This hesitation, in turn, bought time for real Allied forces to prepare their offensives. The Ghost Army's reputation grew to the point where their influence extended beyond direct operations. Their legend itself became a weapon. The risks of playing pretend. Despite their success, the Ghost Army operated under extreme danger. If captured, they risked being executed as spies rather than treated as prisoners of war. Their survival depended on secrecy and their ability to disappear before real enemy troops arrived. On more than one occasion, German scouts came dangerously close to uncovering their fabrications. The legacy of the Ghost Army. After the war, the contributions of the Ghost Army remained classified for decades. Only in recent years have their efforts received recognition. Their innovative deception tactics influenced modern warfare, with psychological operations and battlefield misdirection now integral to military strategy. The courage and creativity of these soldiers left an indelible mark on history. The lesson of deception. The story of the Ghost Army is a testament to the power of illusion and intelligence over brute force. In war, as in life, perception can shape reality. Their efforts saved thousands of lives, proving that sometimes the greatest victories are won not with weapons, but with wit. As we reflect on their ingenuity, let us remember that creativity, adaptability, and thinking outside the box are invaluable skills in any challenge we face. Subscribe to our channel for more incredible stories from history.